Imagine meeting someone who was born in 1749. This is Conrad Heyer. He lived in a time before electricity existed, and yet somehow his face still reaches us today. Let me take you on a journey through the earliest known photographs of people whose images still survive. Now they come to life right before your eyes. These photographs were captured back in the 1840s, the era when daguerreotypes were first created. Their love still breathes in this image. I often wonder what they looked like when their story first began. In the 1840s, taking a photograph wasn't a casual thing. It was an important occasion. People didn't smile, not because they were sad, but because the entire process took time. Holding perfectly still for over a minute meant every picture was thoughtful, every expression carefully chosen. These weren't accidental snapshots. They were deliberate choices to be remembered. That's what makes daguerreotypes feel so haunting. These weren't created with a simple click. They were crafted like tiny time machines, made from silver and light. What's even more amazing is that every portrait is completely unique. There were no negatives, no backups. When you stare into their eyes, you're seeing the exact same metal plate they once sat in front of, nearly 200 years ago. This isn't just a photograph. It's a real physical thread back to the 1800s. Their posture, their clothing. It all silently tells a story. What makes daguerreotypes fascinating is how each one doesn't just show someone's face. It reveals an entire world. A world that existed before electricity, before phones, and long before the modern comforts we rely on today. Many of the people in these images were born before the United States even existed. Back when the world felt unexplored, untamed, and full of unknown stories. These portraits do more than show someone's appearance. They hold the soul of their era. The clothes were chosen with care, each detail intentional. How they held themselves, their posture. It spoke volumes about who they were and how they were seen. They weren't just distant figures from history books. They were living, breathing humans who experienced war, revolution, and cultural shifts that reshaped the world. And what's truly powerful is this. Here we are, in the 21st century, still drawn to their eyes, still wondering who they were. The 1700s were a time of deep transformation, the Enlightenment, the start of the Industrial Revolution. Massive changes swept the globe. Yet for many of these people, life remained simple, centered on family, community, and tradition. Their lives weren't driven by fast-paced technology, but by intentional, meaningful moments. And thanks to daguerreotypes, we can still feel those moments today. The beauty of these images lies in their calm, their stillness. Unlike today, where 100 selfies can be taken in seconds, each of these photographs was made with time and care. No filters, no rush, no instant retakes, just patience. The willingness to sit still, to be recorded in time, to make an image that would last for centuries. What's even more striking about these daguerreotypes is their rarity. Unlike today's endless stream of digital images, each of these was one of a kind. No negatives, no prints. What you're seeing in these portraits is the true likeness of a person, their real face frozen in time. That moment, delicate and unforgettable, is all we have. When you gaze into their eyes, you're not just looking at history. You're connecting with someone who lived it. It's a bridge across time, far more than just an old photo. These faces once belonged to a living world. A world that looked very different from ours, but was still full of the same dreams, fears, and hope. They didn't grow up with the internet or social media. Their world moved slowly, built on connection, on family, and on the quiet rhythm of life. And yet what they left behind, these photographs, have more emotional power than most of the moments we capture today. As you look into their eyes, think about the lives they must have led. What did they dream of? What did they fear? What future did they imagine? We may never know all the answers, but we can see glimpses of their story in their eyes, in their posture, in the clothes they wore. Their presence still watches us, steady and silent, across all these years. These daguerreotypes don't just freeze time, they create an unshakable connection to our past. They are silver and light time capsules that give us the rare chance to look into the faces of those from the 1700s and reflect on how far we've traveled since. But even more than that, they remind us of what connects all of us, no matter the century. The universal experience of being human, of struggling, hoping, and loving. When we look at these people, we aren't just seeing the past. We're looking at the roots of our own journey, the beginning of the world we now live in. Daguerreotypes bridge the gap between then and now, and in their quiet stillness, they offer us something timeless, a link that transcends the years. Even though these people lived centuries ago, there's something familiar in the way they look back at us, a softness in their expression, a quiet strength, a calm acceptance of their time. Sure, their clothes and hair belong to another time, but the emotion behind their eyes, that's timeless. We recognize it because we feel it too. And maybe that's the most haunting, beautiful part. This is all we have left of them. Most of these individuals didn't write books or become famous. They weren't leaders or legends. They were farmers, mothers, soldiers, neighbors. They lived, they loved. And if not for these single surviving images, their stories might have disappeared forever. Each photo becomes a small act of resistance, a way of saying, I was here, I lived, I mattered. And in today's world, where everything moves so fast, maybe these still, silent faces are asking us to slow down, to pay attention, to remember.